Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Let's Learn Vidya. Today's topic is related to literary theories, reader response theory. In the previous video we discussed two theories, Russian formalism and new criticism. If you didn't watch those videos, link is in description, watch those videos as well, that's also helpful. So let's get started. Reader response theory. Reader response theory is actually a literary theory that emphasizes the role of the reader in interpreting and giving meaning to a text. Okay, so what does reader response theory mean? Reader response theory is actually about a reader, that how the reader interprets any work, how the reader gives meaning to any work, to any literary work, either that is drama, novel, or any poem. It suggests that the readers actively contribute to the construction of meaning. It means it also suggests that reader constructs the meaning. Means the work is written by any person, but reader should give the meaning. Reader should interpret that work through their subjective feelings or responses. Reader also involves his own subjective responses and experiences with the literary work, and he also or she also shares his or her own experience in that work whenever he or she compares or interprets or give meaning. Emily Dickinson's Because I Could Not Stop for Death. Now here is an example. Emily Dickinson's poem Because I Could Not Stop for Death. Reader response focus. Different readers might have varied emotional responses to the poem's exploration of death and the afterlife. Now in this poem, there are many people, there are many readers who might be emotional whenever they read this poem, or they might think about the death, they might think about the afterlife. Personal beliefs and experiences can shape how readers interpret the poem's symbolism and themes. So by the help of those all things, they can also get the themes of the work and they can also symbolize it. History. Now, what is the history of reader response theory? The roots of reader response theory that can be traced back to the early 20th century, but it gained prominence in the 1960s and the 1970s as a reaction against formalist and structuralist approaches. Okay, so that is actually the main focus. The reader response theory gained in the 1960s as well as in the 1970s, and it was against, this theory was against the formalist as well as structuralist approaches. We will discuss these theories, especially the formalist I have already discussed, but the structuralist theory we will discuss in the next videos. Scholars began to explore that idea that the meaning is not slowly determined by the text or the author, but is so created by the reader. It means their main focus was what? They focused that reader is the master of the work. In fact, the work was written by any author, but reader should interpret. Reader should give the meaning to that work. Important writers of reader response theory. Wolfgang Iser. His work, particularly the first writer we are having, that is Wolfgang Iser. His work, particularly the Implied Reader, 1972, contributed to the development of reader's response theory. Iser explored how readers' expectations and experiences shape their interpretation of a text. Okay, so this work is actually about reader, that how the reader should interpret or give meaning to any work. Hans Robert Joss, known for his concept of the horizon of expectations, Joss highlighted the importance of readers' expectations in the interpretive process. His work laid the foundation for later developments in reader response theory. So these are the writers who had wrote different works, and there's little bit explanation about that work, that about that book, about that essay, that what's in that essay or what's in that book. Stanley Fish. His work, Is There a Text in This Class? 1980. His Fish gave that meaning is not inherent in the text, but is a product of the interpretive community. Wow, that's the most important point. Means meaning is not present in the book. Meaning can be given by the readers, by the community. It means here the word community has been mentioned like here, but it refers to the readers. Obviously, the book can be read by the person who knows reading. So those are actually readers. He emphasized the communal nature of interpretation. What readers should care about in reader response theory? If you are a reader, what should you care about? This is a question for you as well, and these kind of questions are asked in paper. Subjectivity. The first point we are having, that is subjectivity. Reader response theory encourages readers to recognize and embrace the subjectivity of their responses. Means they encourage readers to recognize and embrace the subjectivity of their responses. It emphasizes that different readers bring diverse perspectives and experience to our text. If I am a reader, you are a reader. If you read any text, obviously you have different interpretation, I have different interpretation. I can give different meaning to that text, you can also give different meaning to that text. Means we talk about subjectivity. Means I have different feelings about that book and you have different feelings about that book, leading to varied interpretations. Active engagement. Readers are seen as active participants in the meaning making process. Engaging with the text involves a dynamic interaction between the reader's experiences, expectations, and the text itself. Interpretive communities. Reader response theory highlights the idea that readers are part of interpretive communities. Means readers are actually part of interpretive communities. I say the person who knows reading, obviously that is called reader, and that is a part of community. If 5 persons are sitting in the room, so they all have different perspectives about any work, different thoughts, different meaning about that any literary work. That influences and shape their understanding of a text. Being aware of the communal aspects of interpretation can enhance one's appreciation of literature. And by this way, literature can be appreciated if you give chance to any reader. In reader response theory, readers are invited to explore how their personal experience, it means you also involve your personal experiences, cultural background, you also involve your cultural background, and individual perspectives contribute to the richness of literary interpretation. It underscores the idea that there is no single correct interpretation and that the meaning of a text is an ongoing collaborative process between the text and its reader. The most important point here, that is the line, it underscores the idea that there is no single correct interpretation and that the meaning of the text is an ongoing. It means you can't say this, that if I give meaning to any work, that is called the correct meaning of that work, means that is correct. That's totally wrong. You have different interpretations, I have different interpretations. You have different meaning, you give different meaning to that work, I also give different meaning to that work. It means we can't say this, that I am right, and I can't say this, that you are right. We all have different thoughts, we all have different perspectives about any work. So this was all about today's. I tried my best. If this video has sparked your interest, I suggest you to like, share, comment, and do subscribe to the channel. If you have any question, you can freely ask in comment section. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.